Welcome. I look into 3 video game characters who are based on fictional ones. Let's look into it. Disclaimer, before we get into this part, I pronounce her name the Japanese way, so please don't drag me. Okay, back to the video. The first lady of fighting games, Chun-Li made her first appearance in 1991 Street Fighter II. According to character designer and illustrator Akira Yasuda, also known as Akiman, Chun-Li's design was based on the Harmageddon Genma Wars character Tao, especially her appearance in the 1983 film based on the sci-fi manga Genma Wars, known in Japan as Genma Taisen by Kazumasa Hirai. It was released in 1967. The movie was directed by Rintaro, with character designs by Akira creator Katsuhiro Otomo. In a 2003 Japanese interview for the Style of Games book, he explained, "My first idea resembled the Chinese character Tao from the Genma Taisen animated movie, with big, wide-legged pants. She would also have that front and back apron. The character wasn't very sexy though, and my design lacked visual impact and personality. So at the 11th hour, I experimented and made a bunch of frantic changes to the pixel art. First, I tried giving her bare legs and a bodycon dress. That made her look like a female pro wrestler, a sort of fake kung fu fighter. It had a lot of impact, and I decided to go with it and release her to the world this way. She became far more popular than I had imagined. I was shocked. I guess part of it was that she was the only female character in the game. Due to this, she broke down doors and paved the way for many women in the realm. I can't shake how former Capcom producer Yoshiki Okamoto confirmed in the 2023 book, Like a Hurricane, an unofficial oral history of Street Fighter II, that he initially wanted to give her a shorter life bar due to this sexist notion he had. He explained, "You know how each character has a life bar? At one point, I wanted to make the power gauge for Chun-Li shorter than for the other characters, because women are not as strong. But Nishitani didn't want to do that. We both had legitimate reasons, but then we came to an agreement to not make it shorter." What a stupid idea. Composer Yoko Shimomura responded, "I had no idea. I think that since women live longer, maybe their life bars should be longer." Now that makes more sense. Though I am never surprised by these attitudes men have, especially when it comes to designing women. A unique character in the Soul series who fights using her sword, aka Iaito, tucked into her parasol, Setsuka made her debut in 2005's Soulcalibur 3. She is likely based on or inspired by Lady Snowblood, also known as Shurayuki Hime by Kazuo Koike, and illustrated by Kazuo Kamimura. It was serialized in Shueisha's weekly Playboy magazine from February 1972 to March 1973. Shurayuki Hime means Carnage Snow Princess, which is a pun on Shirayuki Hime, which means White Snow Princess, usually referring to Snow White. On her path of vengeance entrusted by her late mother, who passed away after her birth, this is set in the 19th century, and assassin Shurayuki, born Oyuki, goes after the 3 surviving bandits and criminals who raped her mother and killed both her stepfather and half-brother, after receiving intense training from a Buddhist priest and raised by a midwife during her formative years. Shurayuki's choice of weapon is a sword hidden in her umbrella. Setsuka's is a parasol. While there isn't as much bloodshed compared to Lady Snowblood's story, hers is also a revenge story, and seems to borrow some elements from its narrative. Orphaned in Japan and shunned for her white ancestry, Setsuka's caretaker and master, Shugen Kokonoe, takes her in as chosen family and gives her the name Setsuka, meaning snow flower. Shugen shows her sincerity and kindness, and trained her in her martial arts style. Sadly, due to succumbing to his wounds during combat with Heishiro Mitsurugi, a man who challenged other swordsmen across the land, he passes. Despite her mentor's last words to not seek revenge, she rejects his request and goes on a lone journey to avenge him. While there are notable similarities in both stories, both having chosen family, a martial arts mentor with a strict training regimen, being named after snow, and avenging her killer, with her story, her strong sense of justice has her determined to see it through. This is shown by her closed-off personality. She shows no remorse for her opponents, and only seeks revenge for what happened to Shugen, and detests Mitsurugi.
Fear me, for I am a demon!
Tekken's ninjutsu practitioner and agent, Raven, entered the ring with Tekken 5, released in 2004. Coming as a surprise to no one, his appearance is based on half-human, half-vampire Blade from the Marvel film of the same name, based on the comics, which in turn is based on Wesley Snipes' appearance in it. Similarly, Raven wears shades, has a similar personality, and has tattoos. Even Raven's "I'll see you in hell" point and walk is familiar to Blade's "catch you later" point and walk, seen in the second film.
Get you later.
You win. I'll see you in hell.
Online, it's been constantly mentioned that Namco, or a designer, made a statement to say these resemblances were coincidental, they wanted to create a cool black guy, and that they wanted to have a true ninjutsu character. However, I have not found a credible source for that. Whether or not any of that is true, the resemblance to Blade is uncanny. That concludes this topic. What other fighting game characters are based on fictional ones? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another video.